Live. So we're live on YouTube, Facebook. That's it. And our Mystic Shaman channel, actually. So if you're watching in the Mystic Shaman channel, on the Mystic Shaman channel, say hey.
Hey.
But yeah, everybody's free to join us tonight. This is just kind of we try to do this once every 4 to 6 weeks where we do it live and everybody can see kind of how the class goes. We do different things, many different facets of many different spiritual theology. And this is how it works. It's being open to all that. The more, if you want to be a better psychic, if you want to be more in tune, you have to be able to let all of it in.
Yep.
All of it. Yep. Because all of it matters.
And yet question.
And question, exactly. Question all of it. But, yeah, we got one viewer so far. I don't know who that is, but welcome.
Well.
But so tonight, what we always do is we have a story time, which is something that's true to you.
Past story, present
story. It's a true story, though.
What's going on this week?
Truly from your heart, not nonfiction.
Right.
But something you've experienced in your life. It can be something very profound. It can be something funny. It can be something sad. It can be just sharing your thoughts for the week. You know, that's part of the mystic therapy that we do here. And so this class is actually more than just a class. It's actually prepping you to get to certain levels of your consciousness where
whatever direction you choose to take,
whatever that is, and using your own ways of things. These are just techniques that I use. These are techniques that have worked for me. And it's important though, it always come from your own way of doing it. Yeah. So it's a very diverse class. There's a lot of diverse people in here. We all have abilities, like I've said before.
And we all work in our own
all
ways.
of us do, but we all do it a little bit differently, or some of us do it a lot differently. That's okay. Yeah. There's no wrong here. As long as your intent is not to hurt anybody, we're good. So this can be a safe space, a sacred space, a healing space, a learning space. That's what these classes are. And I almost feel like I'm taking away from calling them classes, or I'm taking away from calling them just therapy,
right?
You know, or group. Because
healing sessions.
What's that?
Healing sessions.
Yep. Healing sessions, learning sessions. It's a lot of different things. You know, it's a lot of different things. Really, my aim, I mean, not only to help with healing, because we can do that live right now, but to get everybody to open your mind.
Open your mind.
It reminds me of, anyway, a funny movie. So we always start with story time. Everybody kind of takes a turn, and it doesn't, because I feel like to be a good practitioner in this work, it's good to tell a good story. And that story that's why we keep it true, because there's so many stories that are much, much stranger and better than fiction.
Right.
We don't have to make shit up.
Right.
So whoever wants to go first, go ahead. And I'm going to share the link in the group when we start getting people in here. Right now we only have one, but and anybody that wants to jump in to the studio and share, we'll get to that later. But anyway, so we're going to start with story time, and I'm just going to pick somebody because every time it goes quiet. So Kathy, go ahead.
I'm ready.
All right.
I got another heart-shaped message this week, and it was telling me that I need to do some lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
So I'm on a new road.
There you go.
Good.
Heck yeah.
Do you mind sharing what those lifestyle changes are?
Dietary.
Oh.
Yeah.
My AC1 was at 7.0, so they consider me a diabetic. The doctor's given me 3 months to change my act.
Right.
He said the ball's in my court, so
does that mean no more chocolate brownies, dude? That's gonna be missed.
Oh, no more a lot of stuff. He basically told me to eat a lot of veggies and broccoli.
Yeah. But also ask him, isn't there a lot of sugar in those too? Because there is.
There is in a lot of fruits and vegetables.
In corn. He did say corn, and I know peas and carrots have a lot of sugars.
Every vegetable and fruit produces sugar.
Yeah, he said a lot of fruit. He said eat pears, apples, blueberries, and strawberries.
Well, I mean, just see what works for you. I mean, for some people that are like at that point, it may come down to eating like proteins, you know. And
I'm doing I'm doing a food log
Yeah,
and what my sugar registers every day. So
there you go.
I'm
And yeah,
seeing
when
what
you go back to
works.
test again, when you go back to test again after eating fruits and vegetables,
Oh yeah.
See if it's changed at all.
Yeah.
But
So it's
yeah, that's
just
cool though. That's
new lifestyle.
don't be afraid. You got a long
Oh
fucking life to
no.
live. Max, you're good.
Yeah.
And a good life. So
Right.
Yeah. And then the
always protect-
thyroid was high, so that explains hair loss.
Yeah. My thyroid's a little
and
funky,
stress.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Remember,
The man in the
number one
barn.
killer. The number one killer is stress. That's where
That's
it
right.
all
Mhm.
starts. Whatever you have.
Yep.
If you can work on the stress and not letting that succumb or you succumb to that, and trust me, it's easier
not,
said than
yeah.
done. It's an everyday work for me.
Right.
But that's awesome. So,
Yeah.
and you'll feel better. Just find out what your body's kind of craving, not what it like is lusting after, but what it's craving.
Right.
You'll know.
Yeah.
Listen to your body.
I just gotta be more mobile too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Taking some walks. I need to start taking walks again. I kind of put that off, but it's no fun walking in freaking 40-mile-an-hour winds. But I should do it. I used to do it when I was a kid. I walked everywhere in cowboy boots,
in the middle of rain,
like rocker cowboy boots and a trench coat in the summer. Like I'd walk, I think it was like 3 miles every day there and back. It was 6 miles.
Yeah.
But yeah, I should keep doing that because it did feel better, even in the cowboy boots. Awesome. All right. So how about Anthony next?
I'm still thinking. I got so many stories here, so I'm trying to cut it down a little bit.
Blurt out. You're good. All right. Okay, you're going to be next. So let's see here, Christy.
So I had a really good story. Things have changed a bit because I went to my doctor on Friday and I haven't been in a couple months, and so things have changed a bit from what I was originally. So originally I was going to talk about a deep meditation that I was doing, because I've been having like a really hard time lately breathing again, and so I started doing like this really good deep meditation, and it's so funny because like as I was doing it, I realized like, and I don't mean to, but like I guess like I lean forward or like my shoulders go forward, and so I'm trying to like take the deep breaths. Obviously it's harder for me because I'm hunched, and so like in the meditation it was like I don't know how to explain it, but it showed me to just like sit back, and so I sat back and put my shoulders back, and like it totally opened my chest, and for the first time in like months, like I could actually fucking breathe, and so like that was just like huge for me. So every time I'm struggling or whatever, I come in here and I do my sage, and then I do like the deep breathing meditation, and I can breathe again.
Again, that stress, working on it. The meditations will work. They'll help.
But we went from that story to which story? What does
Well,
it
no,
say?
because now it's like they're saying that my red blood cell condition and everything is worse than it was when I had my heart surgery. But that's because I haven't been seeing anybody or doing anything because we moved. I mean, you guys know, so it's like I don't like. I'm doing what I can.
Yeah. Well, I think you just need to continue with your breathing. And here's the whole thing. There are times where I kind of feel restricted too. Okay, I'm asthmatic, whatever, blah, blah, that the doctors say. It's about what is comfortable for you. Go as deeply as you can. And yes, do notice your posture. Am I open enough? Am I allowing the breath?
Always keep that rib cage open when you can.
Even if it's slightly restricted, you just breathe. And if you know you're having some sort of issue or you're feeling it in some sort of way, you always send that healing energy into it while you continue to breathe, right? Like I said, even when I feel restricted, I got some sort of lump in my sinuses that is whatever it is. That's all I ever got told by a doctor. You got a lump in your sinuses, it won't kill you. But I've always had trouble breathing through my nose. However, I'm a great breather, right? And when you really just trust your breath, and there's times where I feel like I'm not getting enough in, that's fine. Maybe I got to let more out, right? Maybe my exhale needs to be deeper. I got to let more go before I can breathe more in, right? Allowing yourself to really work with your breath, with your body, and sending that healing energy wherever you feel like it needs to go to assist in that deep breathing meditation. It's being aware whilst letting go, de-stressing, and not being worried about
what could happen.
Right. Or what others are saying.
That's where fear, like, and I get it. Like, you're dealing with some serious issues. So it's really easy to let that happen, you know?
Honestly,
but once we start letting that seed grow and this is what bothers me. I know that they're doing their best and that they're doing their job, but there is like some sense of like scare in the medical field that really bothers me, because I know you need to talk to people straight, of course, but they don't even do that because they're worried about lawsuits. So the projecting of things and, okay, this is the way it is, I get it. But let's alternatively as well, with balance, let's get rid of all that shit. You're not going to die. You're going to live a good life. You're going to let go of a lot of that shit. And whatever gets you is going to get you anyway. This, time isn't on our side. Live your life, spend your life fucking enjoying it.
Yep. And here's the thing.
To the best of your abilities.
It's been a long time since you've gone and got levels taken and whatever, etc. And look at all the shit you've gone through, all that stress,
and dealt with it, and
all that.
Yes,
right?
you've had.
And yet, okay, so maybe the numbers have moved up a little bit, but you know what? You're still here.
This is something that maybe nobody agrees with me. That's okay. Right. I don't care.
But you are working on.
But I know that
wholeheartedly.
It helps.
And in faith.
In my heart.
Don't allow that.
It really, don't allow that shit to don't keep succumbing to other people's words.
Right.
All right. Even though they are professionals, I get it.
Yep.
I'm not saying they're wrong. However, I'm saying, are they telling you any health benefits like naturally to take care of things?
No.
Are they telling you any other way other than I've got to do a procedure or you need a medication?
No, of
like
course.
Kathy's doctor. She told her that she needed to eat more fruits and vegetables.
Yep.
And he may be right, but he also may be wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's question everything, like we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Because if it's putting you in such a place that you're so fucking stressed out, guess what?
It's not good.
That's going to make you more susceptible to having issues.
Well, so that circling back is like the whole thing about my original story of doing that meditation, being able to breathe. Like I open like my chest, and normally I thought about you when I was doing that breath work, because I will never forget one of the first meditations we did, and you were just like, breathe in the light and let go of like the crap. And so every time you breathe in the light, you sink in, you let go of the crap as you exhale. And so like I was able to think about that and fall into that.
That's why I said sometimes when it's hard to take a deep breath in, maybe we're not letting it all go. We're not letting it out, right? We're not remembering to.
Yeah, and just fucking, holy fuck, this is fucking crazy.
Right.
I'm good. Let's get it out and let's move forward until we can't anymore.
That's fair. Okay, I love you guys.
Just yell it out, like seriously, like fucking get rid of it, because it's not doing you any good. It's good to keep your, check your levels, make sure you check your levels. However, remember, even the slightest phrase from somebody that's professional, or including me, can change somebody's life like dramatically.
Right.
Remember how spells work.
Well, that just made me think of manifestation. And so like
it's the same thing. It's projecting shit.
Exactly.
Yes.
As I'm saying this, I'm manifesting my own fucking demise.
And doctors get frustrated because you don't listen to them, so they can't show that they're being a good doctor if you don't do it better. Like I'm telling you, I don't give a fuck if they're, excuse my language, doctors, whatever they are. If they are coming from a place of fear, I get the concern.
Money.
But if you're putting that in somebody's mind, that's the number one thing you learn, or one of the first things you learn in first aid, right? When you arrive in the scene, if do not panic, do not look at their leg and say, oh my God, your leg's gone. Like, or, oh my God, you're going to die. That's the worst thing you can do to a patient anytime.
Right.
Now, if you were saying, okay, you are going to pass, and you were doing that doula work when it's your time, you know damn well when it's your time. Don't let anybody else tell you that any different.
And look, we all have different bodies, different levels are good for different people. It really.
I'm getting pretty fired up about this, and because it really.
Because science has screwed us over a lot.
I've really noticed it, and being like coming from a psychological background, which I had to learn all by my own, just like I've done everything. My own experience. That is the worst fucking thing you can do. Don't sugarcoat shit for people. If they need to do something and it would help them, of course
like
tell
if
them.
you know for sure this is the thing that's going to help you out, whatever.
But it just seems to be that doctors are more fucking bullies nowadays than anything.
Well, they're sold something too in their education.
Yeah, whatever. That's what, and that also proves that they're not susceptible to making a lot of mistakes.
Exactly. Medical
malpractice is a big one. It kills a lot of people.
Yeah.
I trust a lot of what you guys say because I look at you guys, everyone in here, as like my extended family. Like you guys are part of me.
But question it too.
Yeah.
I do, but I do know that what you're saying is true. And so I just needed that slap in the face because over the weekend, I've just really made a mess of myself too. Like I've been
because if you keep being in that victim mode, guess what you're going to be?
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah.
I mean, it's just, you're calling on you. When somebody, okay, like I have somebody that really bothers me about being possessed and, okay, like, no. What you're doing is you're putting yourself in that world. Same reason we watched that movie, What Dreams May Come. She put herself in that dark world and wanted to live there.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what's going to happen. Doesn't mean dark shit doesn't happen to all of us.
And until,
it does.
Yep, until he was really willing to actually go ahead and join her. Oh shit! Hell no, never mind.
That's the whole point. Like these little things that may seem trivial that we teach here, and we talk about here, and we experience here, mean a lot.
Yeah, they do.
Like I just had a guy I shared up, and I'll talk about it. Terrence Howard, you've heard of that actor, right?
Yes.
He's in what is that movie called where he's a rapper and he makes it, but he like ends up dying. I can't remember. He's in a lot of different movies. He was the first in Iron Man. He was in the first one. He was his sidekick.
Yeah.
The guy that was from the army.
Yeah.
Anyway, this guy starts explaining shit that when I did astral projection sessions years ago, explains and confirms a lot of the shit that I saw and didn't realize.
Right.
Like that
didn't
we
know
know
he was looking at.
We have the technology to create planets. We have the technology to create universes. And I was shown that when we went and visited the pyramid one day. We went up to heaven, or what everybody says is heaven,
right,
or thinks of as heaven, and somebody told me to look higher. I looked higher. I saw a mother and a father that had very long hair, looked very wise. They were huge. I mean, we're talking 50 feet tall or more. I peeked into that realm, and there were people making planets and making universes. So anyway, what I'm saying is everything we do here is very significant, even though it doesn't feel like it is at the time.
Right.
A lot of it plays out later. So anyway, I'm getting all fired up tonight. I don't know.
I've just that feeling of overwhelm and stress really does kind of inhibit
because it's frustrating to watch because it's frustrating to watch
our sense of well-being, right? Like when we allow ourselves to get so, and trust me, I know one of my kids gets me worked up every single time, and every single time I'm like, oh my God, like Jesus, why can't I just, you know what I mean? I like take on her stress and then try to figure out her problems for her. And I'm going, wait, what am I doing right now? I'm not stressed out about this. I've showed her the way. She can do this, right?
Yeah.
And it really is having that faith in yourself and not taking on so much, whether it's other people's words or emotions or whatever else, and being able to stand firm in ourselves.
I mean, I'm just a stupid dropout that dropped out at 15 and went on to be, wanted to be a rock star, which was another stupid dream, but it wasn't. I mean, I experienced and loved it.
Yep.
But I do understand this in working with people, right? As flawed as I am in doing the work, right? Telling people, and sometimes I do need to get on people. Sometimes I need to tease them. Sometimes just depends on how it works or who I'm talking to. Everybody's different. You can't blanket statement anything.
Exactly.
Everybody has a difference or here and there that makes a lot of anomalies.
Right. Exactly.
And I've known a lot of people that have faced death, like were on death's doorstep and made it through.
Yep.
And came back.
I think for me, so I've experienced a lot of different things and I've grown through a lot of different stuff. And
you're going through, yes.
Yeah. Recently, I think I've become more like, I don't know, well-rounded. Like, I feel like my mom when I say that, that's so weird. I'm well-rounded, but like, I feel like I deal with things in a lot of a different fashion or like different mind frame than I used to. And so like, I can take a lot of shit, which is kind of like, I don't know, whatever. But like, when it comes to my health, it's a trigger, I guess, mostly because of the boys.
And so, like, I think, but that's the fear that you guys were just talking about. Like,
but
that,
you realize you have no control of that,
and
dude.
look,
right?
You really don't have any
yeah,
control of that.
that's
So
right.
live every
Right.
day the way you
Yeah.
would, and quit worrying about what's going to
Right.
happen in fucking 10 years.
Like,
For sure.
Unless you're something you're projecting out there to manifest.
my sister
Yeah.
passed just 2 weeks ago. And
Yeah.
part of me wants to go and try to tap into, like, oh, what was that like for her? Like, what happened there? Because my nephews were right there. She was
Right.
having a hard time breathing. She took a shower. She got out. Next thing you know, they're doing CPR. A whole bunch of stuff happened that really probably shouldn't have, especially on the, like, professional side. Anyway, the point is, I have to understand that I don't need to know how that happened. Okay. She's already confirmed to me that, things are okay. Right. But being the first person right after it happened, my nephew called me, which obviously she told him she's the most dependable. You can always get a hold of her, which always happens. She always called me for everything. Anyway, knowing and having that faith and that understanding and not allowing yourself, like, I caught myself a couple times, like, what was that like? Like, what did she go through? Like, how was it? That doesn't matter. She's at peace right now. Yeah, the family's struggling a little bit, trying to get everything in order and whatever, but that's their growth process, right? I'm not saying go ahead and get used to, like, the fact that you're gonna leave your boys, because you're not. You got plenty of time, girlfriend. But what I am saying is, don't get yourself so lost in those moments that you're losing track of your here and now. Right?
100%. Yes, I agree.
I'm not saying that you're not getting good advice. I'm just saying the way it's delivered, and
Right.
people need to be a little bit more sensitive with that. Because what we can get in this place, we become so good at one thing or mastery of something, right? Start to get into the mastery level of things.
Yeah.
We can very easily, even in, of course, in psychic ability, become
Because all is
this god or
Yeah.
goddess
Yeah.
that knows better than everybody else.
Right.
And that's damaging to people.
It can be.
And it's controlling,
Mhm.
and it is
Yep.
what a cult is.
Right.
It's what a cult leader does.
Well, they put the thing in your head. They implant the seed, and then people
Yes.
are going to manifest their own shit because as you say it aloud, you're putting.
See, I'm planting a seed. You're planting a seed too.
Yep.
Right.
As we talk, everything we say is planting a seed.
Yep.
Exactly. I've thought about that a lot lately too. Like just the putting it out into the universe and putting it out into the world. Like I'm not even speaking things because
And your meditations, your manifestations, they've all came true.
Yeah.
Yes, they have.
You've been very good at it.
And that's the whole thing. You need to understand that you have a lot more power, not control,
Nope. We have no control.
than you think you do.
A lot of power.
Or that I know you do, because when you first joined the class years ago, you were off and running. Hopefully you're off and running tonight, because we're going to visit the inner workings of Jupiter tonight. So,
Oh, let's go.
He
Okay.
told you the coordinates. Look
I'm
at that.
done.
yeah, it's coordinate. We're all going to do this tonight. So
So we're not doing a blind, y'all.
because
We know what
that's
we're
the
looking
one
at.
planet, and this is like I was saying earlier, I got a lot of confirmation from that one little podcast.
Mhm.
And that one guy, he's the actor, and who would have thought he was like a
A
mathematician?
brilliant mathematician.
Brilliant.
No kidding.
But and a lot of actors are like that
Right.
you don't realize. Like
Right?
the guitar player for Queen is a rocket scientist.
They realize, okay, in order for me to have the funding to do this thing, I got to get it over here, because over here's, I can do that.
But
whatever.
it confirmed a lot of like the remote viewing that we were
Right.
doing then.
Yeah.
And this was the one planet we did all planets, but this one we did all planets and their inner workings, and found out all of them had an inner core, not a core. There's not solid. It's like planets are like a bubble.
Well, you're
right.
explaining too much right now.
Anyway, no, I'm not, because I want them to at least have the
Well, yeah,
basics.
'cause see, I was trying to keep my visions that when you told me.
And I'm telling a
what
lot
it
of
is
stories,
thing-
but I'm getting fired up tonight because there's something that's fired me up, and that's one of the reasons that pushed me out here.
Yes.
Is I'm tired of listening to establishment.
Mhm.
I'm tired of listening to these people that learn from somebody else, that learn from somebody else, that learn from somebody else, that could have been corrupted a long time ago.
There's been plenty of
And
times.
it doesn't
I've
mean that
sought
they
help,
know. They don't even know.
and been told I can't help.
I mean,
Satan.
people that were rejecting people because they thought they had the
Mhm.
C word,
Yeah.
and not treating some people because of that. That's evil. That's evil. And that
Never
was
seen
taught
people
into them.
confused, Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
That was programmed.
Mhm.
That was a spell, because it wasn't completely coming from a great place. I mean, Big Pharma, paying for med school. They're
Well,
donating a lot to med school. That's a pretty big.
So the
anyway, we're not going to
Rockefellers-
get too deep into it
Well,
because we
no,
got.
let's get to the core of that. The Rockefellers, he was an oil man. He bought up all the oil. He knew his purpose.
And this
in
is
life
real.
was
You
to
can look
money,
it up and
right?
find out.
And look, here's the thing.
Rockefeller
Maybe
medicine.
God told him that was his purpose. I don't fucking know, but that's what he felt like God told him. That's your purpose. He bought it all up. He did all these things, and now he's realizing.
And it probably
hang
was
on.
his purpose.
Yep. Right.
Evil has purpose too.
Exactly. We got to learn somehow. And so he started investing in the medical schools and offering his petroleum there. And not to say no good medicines exist. Some good medicines do. But from a very long time ago within our existence, okay, at least the last 100 years or so, we have been controlled with a certain agenda.
Which is a money-making agenda, and that's it.
Yes.
It's not about health.
Yep.
Anyway, back to what we're talking about. But I think that conversation needs to be had many, many times, whether it's coming from a mental health professional or a physical health professional,
Right.
or a mystic practitioner, whatever that is, psychic, using their abilities, shaman, medicine man, medicine woman. It needs to come from a place of those projections always need to be positive, even if you know there's danger, of course.
And mention
don't put
right?
two prongs into the freaking light socket, because
Right.
or you know what I mean, the outlet. It's going to shock you. You know this, right? But we fucking humans are a lot stronger than and can handle a lot more and are a lot more hardy than we give ourselves credit for. I mean,
that's facts. Because
how many people wore fucking masks in fear and still wear them?
Yeah.
That's a trap. They're under a spell.
Yep.
But they're allowing it. Their fear is telling them what to do.
Yep. Their fear says, "Oh, it's better safe than sorry. Just go ahead and breathe your own stuff instead of everybody else's."
And I'm not saying if some people that need doctors, they do. Sometimes you do.
That's right.
Purely for like serious shit. Like these, don't take offense to this, but these checkups all the time, I think are bullshit. I think you should have a checkup maybe twice a year.
Unless you feel like you need more, right?
But
Unless
being monitored
really
is just more procedure, which is just more money, which is just, it really is that way, whether we want to accept it or not. There's always a procedure a doctor can give you, and they usually do. Right? Instead of just saying, you know what, you don't need me. Just do this. And when you need me, call me.
The other aspect of that too, and I don't want to like tangent off on that, but like they're doing so people that have disabilities, you have to do what they're telling. Like if I want a place to live with my
you have to do it. Yep.
I have to go to all of these appointments. I can't miss. I'm the back pay. I mean, you got.
I put my daughter on disability. I know. Yep.
Just don't let it. Like I said, keep that balance. Of course you do. I mean, for where you're going right now, there's certain things you need, certain protocols you need to follow.
Make it so that you have to go, and then when you go, they scare you. Like on Friday,
like my dad once told me, you know what? People tell you that you can do something, they can do something better. They have a better way of doing it. Just say, "Oh yeah, I'll do it that way," and then do it your own way anyway.
Right. That's
like not in like I'm just going to go destroy myself, but do it your own way and follow your own instincts.
Right. When I did the deep meditation, I didn't take the prescriptions. I did the meditation, and I felt like I could breathe for the first time in months.
That's whatever's making you. If you're feeling better, that's what you do.
Yep. Good. And that's exactly it.
It's all about how you feel and how your body's reacting.
You ain't letting it out enough, right? It really, stress is, that's why they call it the number one killer, because it really is when you're worried about other things. It is when you start to doubt yourself. It's just allowing yourself to take it in.
I mean, Anthony should be clinically dead right now by what the doctors are saying. They can't figure it out.
Oh, right, yeah, big time. Big time. I should be completely, with my potassium level dropping as far as it did. Yeah, literally, I should be clinically dead. That's literally what the nurse said the first time I came down with my condition. And then just recently here, being last month or so in there too, literally, the doctor came in. I said, he was trying to take care of something else. I'm like, Doc, stop what you're doing. Stop worrying about this other virus that you got going on here. Take care, level out my potassium, and you'll be able to take care of the other problem. And sure enough, this is the first time the doctor came in and thanked me for helping him, which that's not, like, technically, if that's the whole thing is doctors have to ask us questions.
Yes.
So they can find out. Yeah. But so if you don't answer any of their questions, they're completely lost on what to do because they have to follow what the book says. And the problem is there are people who literally don't fit in the boxes. That's why literally they're going back to the old ways of doing things, and everybody's going to get their own box, and they're going back to family histories and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why, for me, why I get a little bit don't trust doctors is, as history has shown, when the first doctor gave out the first sugar pill to cure this thing, then guess what? Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you can look at the data and stuff that they give out. All of a sudden, here's a rise of diabetes.
Yep.
And I'm like, okay. But yet, okay, are these people that you're testing, all of a sudden everybody has diabetes because of the sugar? Is it just because of the sugar in our foods? Or is it the sugar pills in our medicine?
That they do use
It's
a lot
the
of
sugar
sugar
they
in
add
them.
and everything else. Yep.
And like I said, for Kathy wise, what I've noticed for her is that literally she has started abling to use her free will. To literally, when she sees something coming at her, she literally stops it right. Like, nope, stop right there. You're not going to come in here and disturb my little bubble.
Right.
I will take a look at you when I have time. I don't care how powerful and thing you are. You're going to stop right here at my barrier. And you're not going to come in here. And like I said, when Kathy's doing her breathing and stuff, and all of a sudden she says that her head drops down to her chest. Well, by certain people who do astral projection, they say that that's one of the messages that you know that your body is, that your spirit is leaving your body.
Yes.
That
Well, it's not,
because your head drops down, and that's one way of your body leaving.
You're right. Yep.
When you are
that's the whole thing. When you
relaxed,
get into that
can
place,
leave
as long as you
yourself
don't
a
fall
little bit.
asleep,
Yep.
which falling asleep, you fall asleep, you're gonna have some good dreams usually. So
Yeah, like I said, for myself, when I first learned to astral project, is literally I had the dream of myself sitting at the end of my bed, looking at my body, looking back at me.
Yep.
yeah,
And that's how I knew.
just imagine it this way, so it's not so freaky.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Imagine
That's literally, if you want to learn how to astral project, you literally do it in your own home before you.
Well, what I'm saying is that there's a lot of
other
myths
places
that are not true. There's a lot of myths that scare the shit out of people about doing this stuff. Think about it this way. My arm, my physical arm, I reach over the table to grab something, right? That's the same kind of thing. There's no separation between your body and your spirit. When anytime I've ever done astral projection, it's been I have a light body that can just go wherever it wants. Whenever it wants.
But also too, when you come back, all of a sudden you wake up, and people, when they talk about, I wake up and my body's not moving, that's literally, they call it paralysis and stuff, medical wise. But that could be your body not lining back up when you are astral projecting.
Give me a second.
Yeah. All right, we better get to class because we got to get back to story time, and let's see, we got.
But the great thing is Jupiter, from what I saw from NASA, that Jupiter, all those other planets are supposed to be really lined up right now, so we can actually see them in the night sky now.
We're going to be able to see a lot of them. Yep.
But it's Tina's story time, and I haven't done my story, I suppose. But.
I haven't done my story. Okay, go ahead. Anyway, Tina, are you ready, or do you have a story this week?
No, I don't. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Well, I got simple stories. I have allowed way too much stress to interfere with my everyday thinkings and workings. And yet, I still manage to get a lot of things done. My story, not just kidding. No, I think it's very funny and very entertaining when I can go out to my littles and my boys start just cockadoodling, right? And then when I'm praising one of those boys, the other boy has to kick in. So they both act like they don't want my attention, but when either one of them are getting attention, oh, good job, Big Red. Yep, look at you doing your job. Here comes Foggy. Oh, Foggy boy, you're so handsome. You're doing a good job. Oh, here comes Big Red.
They're competing for.
And yet,
the biggest cock in the
gently, right? But they're doing it gently with one another, and I'm enjoying that process. It's also very scary though, because our Brahmas are big, and I swear to God, they're trying to take on the role of being the cock because they've been alone for so long that I'm still worried about integration. But you know what? It's going to happen the way it happens. I'm trying to slowly do that. Yeah. But you know what? They've gone back to eating their eggs, which lets me know there's an insecurity happening. She feels inferior, so she's going to take it out on eating her eggs again. So
All right, so I'm going to share.
Unlimited
So
chickens,
this is
y'all.
I
That's
just
my
pulled
story.
I just pulled up Jupiter, and of course you can see the gas around it going around it. But so just take a look at that, and then we're going to get ourselves in a start breathing. Get yourself in a relaxed position. Doesn't matter how you do it.
You know what you're looking at, and it doesn't matter what you see, how you see it.
Let it come in. Don't try to force it. And I think I'm going to share the link. So if anybody else wants to join the studio, hello, Nancy. Hello, Kelly. Hello, Tricia. Welcome, everybody.
Welcome.
So I'm going to, where do I add that link? Invite. And I'm going to add it to comments. So anybody watching that wants to join, I think we can only have 10 people in here, but we'll make sure we get everybody. We only have 7 watching right now, so should be able to handle it. All right, the link is shared. So we're going inside. So you just find the pole. Let's go in through the North Pole. We're going to go in. Remember, like I said, it's more like our planet's more like a bubble than a solid rock.
Well, see, and here's what I was getting like almost immediately when I started connecting. Inside it's like water, but it's thicker than water. But it's not.
It's more dense.
Yes, but it's not like. It's not as thick as Jello.
I was just gonna.
Not as thin as water.
You were going to say
But
Jello.
I always go for the red spot. I always go for the red spot when I'm looking at Jupiter. I focus on the red spot. So.
Like I feel completely warm. And it's like inviting, but I do know what Norma means when she says it's like water, but it's not like Jello. I was thinking jelly.
Right? It's not quite as
I'm seeing
jelly,
a lot
but
of rock, and it
not.
looks like there's structures made out of that rock. But it's like that gray, like shell rock look, like where you would find a fossil. You know what I'm talking about? Like kind of a grayish mate finish. And it seems very like, how would I explain that? I'm going to welcome Tricia in here. Welcome, Tricia.
Welcome, Tricia.
But I was seeing that as soon as I picked the target. I started seeing that.
See, now I'm getting.
And there do seem to be a lot of people that look like
and
Anthony's
the other
picture
things.
right now in robes. It look
I
like brown
actually
robes
see
or
some
gray
red
robes. What?
Gray as well. I see red rock, gray rock. Like it's almost a rainbow, but duller colors. Like it's duller red.
I am seeing the ponds that, like, if you touch
Gray.
them, they go bow, like almost like Jello. They're kind of like a.
That's what I'm saying. It's not as
Like
thick as Jello,
It's more dense,
but it's not as thin as water.
and it is more solid. It's not gaseous. Like there's gas, but it's what they live on. But yeah, we're in the inside of Jupiter, so seeing palm trees, and they seem to be in an odd place. Like I see a lot of shell rock, but I also see like a gray kind of sandy beach, and I see that weird water. It's not water. It's like it is more dense. I keep going back to the density of it. It's kind of funny. But whoever the beings here can swim in that, like they use it as water, but we would probably walk on top of it.
So I see like it's not. I don't know how. Like between clay and brick, like the mauve, like a matte mauve color.
Yep.
I spot.
Excuse me. It was a sneeze.
Yeah, I get that too. Yeah, when I'm looking at like the structural things.
I don't know what this is, but I'm seeing like a gold chain, like a chain link. It looks gold. It's shiny. It looks like it's going over a walkway or a pathway that's going over maybe some of this weird liquid.
It connects it.
It's like the handrails. It's like if you've ever been over like one of those bridges that are where you have handrails where only one person can fit, maybe two side by side. but it seems to be spanning across something. Seeing palm trees, but they're different colors than our palm trees. Or they look like palm trees. They're kind of leaning and all the leaves are kind of hanging down. They seem to be a little bit thicker leaves. They're not like pointy like that. They're more like leafy. They're not as like the pointy palm tree. The leaf is still green, but something about the stalk or what's that?
I'm hearing a lot of sound. I'm trying to like differentiate how I'd explain it right now.
It feels somber, but somber for a reason. Like there's a purpose here for the somberness. Or however you'd say somber. That way. Nancy says it's like a rainbow, dusty mist rainbow.
Trying to understand the sound I'm getting right now. I want to be able to explain it properly without bringing people off.
Well, like I said, it's sort of like I said, it's a different type of like wind. It's sort of like I said, it's not running fast like a normal wind would, but it's sort of like a harsh wind. It's moving slow, but like it's running, like it's running across like sand or something.
It's like an uplift, huh? It's like an updraft, like more of a circular draft. It kind of goes.
Because from what I'm seeing is literally, I see the clay layer that they're talking about, and then just above that clay layer is about like a half an inch, maybe 2 inches or more of like this liquid. It's not completely frozen over, but it's in enough liquid state that it's not quite jello. It's just between being jello and being a pool of mushy goo. It's somewhere in between there, because literally I can see 2 eyeballs like a crocodile. You know how a crocodile sticks its eyeballs up just above the water line? And I can say that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I feel like totally chill. Like I feel relaxed here. Like I feel like I said when I got here, I felt warm. Like I feel like everything has like a weird flow to it, which is maybe like what the water, the jello is. It's just like the flow of how things move.
Yes.
And to us, we see it differently because time is different. So you can see the waves of like what's happening on top of everything, which maybe
the waves, girlfriend, that was like key, because that just totally like, it's like waves.
Right. And it's just chill.
Like I said, the sound I'm hearing is in between like a cricket and a bird chirp. Yet there's a whoosh. There's an exhale.
Almost like white noise. Almost, but not exactly for the tone wise.
It's relaxing.
Yes.
It feels more lower vibrational than we are.
Right? It does
feel like it's more of a low tone.
Yet the vibration is.
And that's where I'm saying that somber tone, but also happy. Like they're willing to be in that somberness, and maybe it's just because they're used to that. That's what they were born of, right? But there seems to be something more like on Earth. There seems to be more highly evolved people here. But I feel like there's regular people here too, like people that aren't as highly evolved.
They struggle as well. Yes.
When you guys were describing that, it almost sounded like a mother's womb, the swooshing.
Yes. Oh my God.
Exactly.
You pinpointed the sound I'm hearing right now.
And
yes.
There's like
there's a rhythm to it. There's a beat. There's a hum. There's yes. Oh my God. Yes.
Like amniotic fluid kind of feeling. It's like gel, but not.
But not quite.
Not jello,
so
but
thick,
not
but
jello.
It's
more of a thick gel.
But that's what's crazy is that it's like on top of everything that I see. Like I see the layer of the vibrations. So it's because we see it in a different time.
Yep.
And almost different other dimensional.
Which is why it's kind of nice when you know your target. We all get different things and we can kind of pinpoint and like put them all together later.
I keep getting pinkish colors. I mean, I'm looking at the picture. Same colors are on the inside too.
Yep, I agree.
Yes.
I agree with what Nancy said too. You put up on the screen. Maybe it's a heartbeat of lots of beings. Like that's
Yeah.
what,
Yes.
like a flow of just,
Yes.
yeah.
Like a reality existing, and what we see is just waves and gel. Tapping into vibration.
I see somebody in like this control room that's like right in the middle of this whole place. It seems to be like floating right in the middle.
I felt that.
And he feels reptilian or looks like a reptile. He's got
Dark
like
yeah.
yellow eyes.
I felt the green.
I don't know if he's got a crown on or what, but he's adorned with gold as well on his
Reminds
head.
me of Foggy a little bit.
He's got a red robe on.
I mean, different.
He seems to be kind of like not controlling everything, but managing everything.
Dude, that's crazy. I saw crimson and like a flash of like a bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was weird.
He's got buttons that he can push. He's got like a control panel in a control center. Seems to be like a rectangular box, but it's just like suspended, in, at least from what I can see, in the middle. It's definitely got the fisheye lens effect. How everything's kind of warped, rounded, inverted.
Yeah.
Like inside of a bubble, living inside of a bubble. But this bubble has landscapes. It's the opposite of our globe, of our Earth,
of course,
where we're at.
I don't know about opposite.
And yes, it is round.
Different.
It's like an inner bubble, basically, but they're spending time on the inside of the bubble, not the outside.
Right, like imploding, not exploding.
Yeah.
You know what's weird though with that guy? Everything in there does not have that flow. Like there is no vibrations, there is no gel, and there's no rainbow that's glistening. Like that's all gone with him.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of praying going on, or a lot of like mental work going on.
Yeah, dude. I see that too. I think he runs. Yeah, I see that.
Like I don't know, like there's adversarial forces here, but the good basically kind of trumps it. Like it's there, but they're not really letting that bother them. I guess I could say like devotion, or being devoted to their way of living. And part of their way of living, a lot of it's praying, or what I would describe as praying. Being in that kind of not trance state, like they're completely aware, but they're devoted to, how would I say this, like a collective kind of praying, but they're not really praying to a being.
They're interrupting their meditation time, the way it seems like.
Yeah, probably, but their meditation time's a lot. They don't really let things affect them.
I was just going to say, dude, think about the meditation time there. If you think about what it feels like with those vibrations and that flow, like when they meditate, those vibrations are probably so fucking high.
And it's like they're living in it, like they're living in that meditative state.
Yeah.
Where they're aware of their surroundings and what's going on. But a lot of it is inner. Like it's inner work that kind of bleeds out to the outer, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Nancy was asking, where is this place? We're looking at the inner part of Jupiter, the planet Jupiter.
Like I said, that's why I always start, since Jupiter has the red spot there, I always focus on the red spot and make my way down as if I was going down through a hurricane or a tornado and reaching the bottom that way.
Like a lollipop upside down.
Or a vortex, yep.
Does Debbie or Trisha, I know they're in here. Hi. Do you guys have any?
Yeah, if y'all want to add to it, go for it.
Yeah.
I don't really see anything. I just, I don't know. Maybe because I'm on the phone or something.
If you're not It's okay. Just whatever you're feeling, you might be
Yeah,
feeling.
whatever you pick up on, like you say, you may not see anything, but your other senses and stuff may be picking up on something.
Yeah. You might smell something. You might feel something. You might just have a feeling about something.
Okay.
Well,
It's free to just be open. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, first coming to these classes, like, it probably seems not like weird, but it's kind of like, what the fuck, if part of my English. But if you just allow and just sit back and close your eyes and just try to feel like just energy or vibrations or whatever, like, you might see something completely different than what we're seeing, but that doesn't mean that you're not there.
Doesn't mean
Seeing
you're not,
something
and it
that's,
might
like,
not be seeing
totally
again, like we
prevalent.
said,
Yep.
use your senses, whatever's working,
And
whatever's kicking
You
in.
get a certain smell.
any of
certain
you
sense.
guys, like, whatever you have to say, please say it, because we're all open to listening and like sharing and trying to communicate.
No wrong answers.
That's
Right.
right.
No wrong. There's
Yeah,
no wrong.
I just see a picture, like a computer screen picture of Jupiter.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
okay. Now go further. Now really study or further study that planet and the inside of it.
Okay.
Yeah, see yourself being drawn into the picture.
Yeah.
Because the pictures can be doorways for you to actually astral project yourself to the place that you're going.
Exactly.
Okay, I blew it up, so.
Also, too, like, I don't know if this will help, but after group, like, if you just go back and refer to this picture when it's just you, like, for me, meditating, like, I like to have my lights off. If it's possible to get my dogs to be quiet, which is not possible, at the rare chance, I have my music on, just like do whatever makes you feel chill, and then just focus on the picture and close your eyes and just sit back and just kind of see like what comes to you.
Yeah, let what randomly comes in. It might feel random and it might feel strange. That's okay. You're not going to be able to explain everything. Like, I can explain it to what my understanding is at this point, but I'm sure I'm not explaining it in a way that
I'm very grateful that someone was able to take that womb sound and the sounds I was describing, right? Because it was very similar to that, but I didn't place it having had 3 kids. So
I'm listening to the what do they call that thing?
Maybe if she meditated before and got in that place, it might help her.
Right. That would help getting yourself in the mood, in the right space. But I know you'll see things that are like, well, I don't want to talk about that. It's going to make me sound crazy.
that sounds stupid.
Those are the best ones.
What about do you see anything or do you feel anything?
Or just imagine what it would be like on the inside of the planet.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
Really, pretend isn't necessarily pretend. That's where it all comes from. You can make some stuff up. You can sense some things and make up your own story, or you can sense things and say things how you sense them.
Articulate them the way you
Right.
see them, even
That's
if
right.
it sounds fucking
That's
batshit
right.
crazy,
That's right.
or what most people would think was batshit crazy. You're in the strange room right now, so don't worry.
Right?
We're all mad
We're
here,
all a little
as the
mad
Mad
here.
Hatter would say.
That's right.
We have all seen some things. Trisha, have you seen anything or do you feel anything?
No, I'm just trying to like meditate and listen to you guys, and I guess
You get your own thing. That's good.
Yeah.
Are you enjoying yourself? Like, is it good?
Yeah, I'm
good. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
No,
welcome.
I feel relaxed and I'm trying, feel open, but I haven't seen anything yet.
That's okay. You might not see anything.
I'm
Maybe
seeing
you just
what
get a feeling
I feel like this. Why do I feel like it's oppressive and freeing at the same time? Like, that's what it feels like. Like
100%.
It's happy. Like it's.
So there's a lot of girth.
There's a lot of like heaviness here, but
yeah. So you can feel the weight of the air.
Yeah.
How heavy the air is around it, but at the same time, there's this sort of like part of it. If you were going to divide the person up, that literally from the stomach up, you feel the heaviness of the air, but below you, you feel like you're sort of just weighing in a pond.
Yeah.
That's easy, because as you were saying that, like, I took like an actual account of my position in my body, and bro, I'm over. And you said that, and I sat back. My meditations are that was good.
It's a phase. This is a place you go for like a certain phase you go through. Is what I'm getting.
Like he just said, like I felt it on my shoulders and I didn't even realize it. Like I was hunched over, like physically hunched over from the weight of what I feel like from them.
Yeah.
But it's not like
Literally, like you said, but what I've noticed, like I said, I should have said myself, but literally, like I said, everybody right now, as you're in that energy, take a deep breath in, and then slightly let it out a little bit, and that heaviness that you're around will dissipate.
Yes, take your time exhaling, let it all.
Kelly Dick says, I feel I was in the in the center. I feel like it like I would be protected, floating in multiple elements of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
that's actually
Like this is definitely a place that we probably all been, or we're going there eventually. There's nothing happening on the outside of the planet. It's complete, from what I'm seeing, it's all badlands, desolate. It's not sustainable. But the inside,
On the inside, literally, it's. Have you ever seen it start I guess the best one would be Voyage, not the Voyage Home, but the very last one they did, where the guy came out of the wastelands and stuff, right? That literally, that's exactly what it is, and you have all these different layers of wind and stuff blowing. Or if you've ever been out in the desert and literally a dust storm comes up and it blows sand and stuff, literally that's what you're
I can
looking at,
yeah,
the surface of it. And then like I said, as you guys were saying, yeah, there's a tiny silver dome. Yes, right there on the surface. And inside, yeah, is a person there. Maybe reptilian, stuff like that. Or it could be just the clothing and stuff he's wearing. But yeah, there are little bits of computer stuff there. A nice golden chair. Yeah, go ahead.
What was that?
No. I was asking you, do you see green? Like when you look in the dome, do you see green?
Yes, I see, like I said, from my point of view, I got like this sort of like screen over here that's showing the planet. And then right in front of me a little bit past the chair, there's somebody in like a green hoodie maybe, or a cloak or something on the opposite end. Like you can hear roughly him typing or pushing buttons. Like he's taking air samples and stuff.
So I see a lot of things in colors or like shades. So like when I look at that, I see like a dark green, like not like the color of, I don't know how to explain, like reptilian skin, kind of like how Aaron said,
like
but
a forest green color, right? Like
yeah,
or even darker.
Yeah, that's what I see when I see the dome.
Like a mossy green, or yeah. All the colors are very like earthy.
For sure, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
like they're not bright. I see it more as being like more grayscale, but like grayscale with greens, with blues, with reds, but they're faded,
like mundane or matted.
Yeah. There's definitely like this mundane feeling there, but I feel like everybody's like utilizing their prayer, and prayer keeps coming up, and their prayers to connect with that higher vibration.
Yep, I got a lot of meditation.
It's like it's a necessity to have that higher vibration here, or you'll be miserable. Wow, that's some crazy shit that we saw. Anyway, all right. Well, I think we're done for tonight. But yeah, if you'd like to join, send me a message or just go to my website and enroll in the class. There's 2 different packages. Anyway, if you're interested, these are things we do, but we do a lot more. We don't just do remote viewing. We'll do healing sessions. We'll do therapy sessions sometimes. We do even conspiratorial or conspiracy stuff where we look at it. But it's all in an effort to open you up even more to you, to who you truly are. Your soul, not your human.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. Have a great night, everybody, and we'll see you next week.